We had our whole life planned out, but just a month into our marriage, that plan went out the window. This is the continuation of the story of how I met my husband on Twitter and we got married a few months later. Like most newlyweds, my husband and I had agreed to wait before starting a family. We wanted to enjoy the first few years of our marriage, travel, spend time together, just live life. 1 or 2 years, no rush for babies. It seemed like the perfect plan, but life had its own ideas. It all started with the usual symptoms. Feeling a bit off, more tired than usual, and well, a lot of snacks. I joked that maybe it was just a honeymoon phase, but a small part of me wondered. Still, I pushed the thought aside. We had planned to wait. A few days later, I decided to take a pregnancy test, not because I thought it was real, but more to ease my mind. I didn't even wait to look at the results right away. But when I finally glanced at it, my heart skipped a beat. 2 pink lines. I just stared at it. No way. It was too soon. We weren't ready for this yet. Telling my husband was the next hurdle. I walked into the living room, test in hand, heart pounding, and just handed it to him without a word. His face went through a whirlwind of emotions. Shock, confusion, and then to my surprise, a smile. Well, I guess we're going to be parents sooner than expected, he said. His voice calm, but as the news started to sink in, so did my shyness. The idea that everyone would know how I got pregnant, it made me so embarrassed. I couldn't help but blush at the thought. I even started to feel weird about going outside. It felt like everyone in the neighborhood knew what we did to make this baby. They all knew the same thing. The aunties, the neighbors, they smiled knowingly, and that made me want to stay indoors even more. I stayed home more than usual, avoiding those knowing glances and awkward smiles. My husband found it funny, always reassuring me that no one was judging. But still, I felt self-conscious, like my secret was out there for everyone to see. As the months went on, my pregnancy came with all kinds of unexpected twists. One of the weirdest was the cravings. There was one phase where all I wanted to eat was burnt jollof rice and akara. That combination was so strange to me, but it was all I could think about. And of course, my poor husband was the one running out late at night to satisfy those cravings. One time, he drove to 3 different malls just to find the right kind of chocolate bar I wanted. He never complained though. He was always sweet, always patient. I stressed him out in more ways than just with cravings. I had so many emotional ups and downs. One minute I would be laughing, the next minute I would be crying. There were days I wasn't sure if I could handle this early surprise. But through it all, my husband was my rock. He would rub my back and my feet when I felt uncomfortable and reminded me that we were in this together. By the 7th month, I had finally come around the idea of motherhood. I could feel her little kicks, and we spent evenings thinking of names, planning her room, and dreaming about what she would look like. It was still hard to believe that soon we'll be holding her in our arms. The nervousness was still there, but every kick from my baby girl was a reminder that life was changing in ways I couldn't control, but in the best way possible. Then came the big day. It was late at night when the contractions started. At first, I wasn't sure if it was the real thing, but after a couple of hours, I knew. We grabbed the hospital bag, thankfully already packed. My husband rushed me to the hospital. The ride to the hospital felt like the longest drive ever, with me breathing through the contraction and him trying to calm me down. Thank goodness he wasn't the one driving. When we finally got there, everything moved quickly, and before I knew it, I was in the delivery room. Labor wasn't easy, but my husband never left my side. Finally, after what felt like a lifetime, our baby girl was born. The moment I saw her, all the pain and worry disappeared. She was perfect. The first time I held her in my arm, her tiny fingers wrapped around mine, and all I could think about was how blessed we were to have her. After we got home from the hospital, I was exhausted. My mother-in-law came to stay with us. I was still shy, but now for a whole new reason. I didn't know what I was doing. My mother-in-law was a lifesaver. She took care of everything. She cooked, cleaned, and helped with the baby so I could rest. She was always one step ahead, knowing exactly what I needed before I even asked. Looking back, it's funny how life never goes exactly as planned. The shyness, the unexpected changes, all of it led to something greater than we could have ever imagined. We thought we would have time before starting a family, but our beautiful baby girl arrived early, and I wouldn't change a thing. If you like this story, please don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and share. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.